Good afternoon and welcome to the Niagara Leadership Summit for Women. I'm so excited to introduce our first panel of this event this year. So just to introduce myself, for those who don't know, my name is Grace Howes. I'm the Community and Public Relations Coordinator at the YWCA Niagara region. But more importantly, today I am your room moderator for this panel. And I'll be available in the back watching all the comments and discussions happening about what these lovely ladies have to say on leadership today. I want to start this panel with a land acknowledgement. So we begin this panel by acknowledging that the land on which we live and work is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, many of whom continue to work and live here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, our gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and acknowledging reminds us that our great standard of living is directly related to the resources and friendship of Indigenous people. Another quick and important message that we like to share before these sessions is about our mission at the YW. So the Niagara Leadership Summit is an initiative of the YWCA. The YW is a local organization that stands for gender equity and gives a voice to those who are marginalized in our community. The YW offers emergency shelter and 3 stages of transitional housing to homeless women, men, and families. And through these programs, we help our clients step-by-step break the cycle of poverty and homelessness for good in Niagara. So we're so grateful to be able to host this event as a part of our mission. Another reminder before we get started is about our community guidelines. We want to take an opportunity to remind everyone that the Niagara Leadership Summit for Women virtual space is designed to facilitate a safe and open conversation among the participants. By participating in this panel, you're agreeing to follow our community guidelines, and you can find those under the Important Documents tab on the virtual event platform. We're all responsible for creating an inclusive environment, and we appreciate your support in doing so. So I'm going to, at this time, turn it over to Elizabeth, who is hosting our panel today. Elizabeth is the Executive Director of the YWCA Niagara region, and she's also extremely involved in more committees and groups than I can count, doing work to make Niagara a better and more inclusive place. So I will leave you with Elizabeth and in the great hands of all the amazing speakers in the panel today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace. I'm so excited to be hosting this panel discussion today, and our participants on this panel are a wide group of women who had very interesting experiences. And so we've chosen not to spend a lot of time on their individual bios because I know that they will be able to tell their stories through the questions that we're asking. But I would like to take a moment just to introduce them. I want to say on my right and on my left, and I'm not quite sure what that looks like on your screen. So I will say we have Bonnie Tidgemeyer with us, Sana Pabani, Christine Thomas, and Adarsh Saxena. Thank you so much for being a part of our panel today, and I really look forward to our conversation. So I'm going to start by asking you the question of what does leadership mean to you today? And in that, maybe you could talk a little bit about what your leadership journey has been. I think what I'll do is I'll start. Does somebody want to start or shall I just ask?
I can start.
Excellent. Thank you, Adarsh.
So as Elizabeth introduced me, my name is Adarsh Saxena. Right now, I have reached that leadership level where I am heading a brokerage, a real estate brokerage. I'm a real estate broker. I still remember when I started as a cub reporter. So my background is in media. I used to be a journalist, and when I moved to Canada, I realized that that move required another move that was a career switch. And I right away started working on real estate passion of mine. And from there onwards, I remember doing my first deal. And then over the years, it was a journey about 10 years. I reached the position where I am now a broker. I'm mentoring so many other realtors, and I have agents working for my brokerage. So it was an interesting journey. And going to that question which Elizabeth asked, um, for me, right from the beginning, I felt that leadership is all about others. It's not about you. When you achieve something, you are an achiever. But when you help others achieve their dream and help them, and I do this as a broker for my agents and the people I mentor, is that it's all about them. You are the engine, but it's the train that you move. It's the cars of the train, and it reflects on your capability based on um, how you influence others. If you can move a car, I mean, as I was saying, a train as an engine, it reflects how far you go, how far you take them with you, and what kind of terrains and difficulties you can move them to. So for me, it's always about others. And if I were to quote, you know um, his name is John Maxwell, and he said that leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So you have to know it, and then you have to be able to practice before you start preaching. And then you have to have the capability of making others achieve their dream and dream big. That's how I look at it.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anybody, Bonnie, maybe would you like to go next?
Sure. So I have been working in the field of human resources for 30 years. And my field, I actually, Adarsh, was also in journalism before I was in this particular field. And, I actually perceive leadership as significantly evolving over the period of time that I've been working. It seemed for a long time that people judged leadership by corporate rank, like where were you in the organization, and how did you get there, and what that was really about, and or whether you were the top of your game in sports. And I think that there's a real aspect of leadership that is deciding to take chances or risks with where you're trying to go, and inspiring others to do the same. Maybe not do the same thing, but it's always a play off of, you see someone do something really great and it inspires you to do something else. So I actually thought about like that definition of leader, and I think that it means that you're able to demonstrably strive to make change for the better in whatever area is your passion, and where those actions then influence others to follow those passions as well.
Such great insights. Sana, can I ask you to go
Yes.
next?
Firstly, thank you, Elizabeth, Grace, and entire NLSW team for having me, and all these wonderful ladies. So when recently I was watching TED Talk on leadership, it completely changed my mindset about leadership itself. Today, we believe that leadership is something bigger and beyond, in which you need to have those plenty of followers, you need to be a CEO or a politician. And many of us are not even comfortable calling ourselves a leader today. But it's all beyond this glory itself. Leadership is not just about, for me, it's not just about being a leader in a community, but it is also about being a personal leader. On how positive you keep yourself, how motivated you are throughout the day. Um, so for me, a great leader is someone who has these three traits, and I feel they are very, very important, which is courage, passion, and humility. Um, so I don't know whether you know about a ballet student recently is all over the news on BBC, CNBC, named Kamal Singh, who is the first Indian to attend English ballet school in London. So he had no money to go to the ballet school, but he raised 11,000 pounds. When he got admitted, he just had 14 days, but he still had the courage to start a fundraising campaign. um, Sometimes you won't have the clarity of how things are going to work out, from where your next paycheck will come, or how will I be paying my debts. But you need to have the courage to take that job, or you need to have the courage to work on your business. And while you're doing this all, you should ask yourself, is this something you're passionate about? Do you have that strong belief in what you're doing? And throughout this process, I believe you need to accept your mistakes, acknowledge, appreciate others, and be compassionate and be grateful for everything you have. And we all are not born with these traits, but practice in your day-to-day life is the key, I think.
Thank you. Christine.
Hi, everyone, and thank you guys for having me on the panel. I'm so glad to be here with everyone. For me, I think taking leadership, just like everybody has said today, is all of these qualities. It's taking action to guide, lead, mentor, and do whatever capacity is needed to support a group or an idea. And it's definitely embodying the idea that we're talking about of helping to people to rise. So you see something in somebody and you nurture that essence that you see in somebody, and you encourage them and you come alongside them and you just celebrate what you see in them and you foster that idea to get them to their true potential. And I think that we all have seen that in somebody, or somebody's seen that in us, and that's what has got us to where we are today. And I think that we should continue to look out for those people in our community and help them to reach their true potential. And that's why we're here today. And that's kind of where I sit on that. And I work in the community as a community social worker, and I volunteer my time with the homeless and other groups of people who are like lower minorities. And that's what I kind of spend my time doing. It's my passion.
Thank you. Thank you. Seeing such diverse viewpoints as well as experiences, and so thank you so much for sharing that. I wanted to ask what role mentorship has played for you in your leadership journey. Perhaps Sana, you could start that.
Yes, sure. So for me, mentorship has always been the light in the dark. Every stage of my life, someone or the other has motivated me to reach where I am right now. So one of them is my mother. Since I completed my 10th grade, I have been out of my house, away from my family. And one of the instances I recall is that I was riding my bike and a sheep came unexpectedly on my way. And with an intention to rescue the sheep, I had an accident. And sadly, the very day and the very time I had my exam, at that moment in the hospital, doctor called my mom and said that your daughter met with an accident and her leg is broken. At this point of time, what would you expect a mom would say? That, dear, you just take rest and we will be there at the hospital. But no, my mom told me nothing can stop you. Even if your leg is broken, you get your ass up and go and give that exam.
Wow.
So she called up the principal, head of the department, to make arrangements and made me go up there. If that day my mom would have not told me to go, I don't think I would be here in Canada speaking with you all. For
Wow.
me, mentors are like real life cheerleaders who will always boost your self esteem, your confidence, and will always want you to step out of your comfort zone. So, as Oprah said, a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. And that's what my mom did at that moment. I was thinking that since my leg is broken, I can't give my exam. But she was there cheering and pushing me to reach my goal.
That's a great story, Sana. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would somebody else like to share?
I can share.
Sure, Bonnie, please.
So, by the way, that was an amazing story. I can top that. But in the context of my field, which is human resources, we're kind of built for mentorship. Our association, our career, there's always a mentor relationship that's available around the corner at any time. And I actually started to think about who my mentors were when I was prepping for this. And I realized that my best mentors were actually not people in my field at all. My best mentor was a corporate lawyer who helped. I work in the acquisitions field, and he really helped me to ask challenging questions to get at the heart of what was really needed. You know, that critical eye of things. I think that was really helpful to me. I had a great mentor at one point. Being in arts and not sciences, math was not my strong point at an early point in my career. And I essentially had a math mentor who helped me do more critical analysis, which was really helpful to that. I realized that in the past, I always sought mentor relationships with people who are older than me. And today, I am actually more interested in mentor relationships with people who are younger than me, in part because it's a different world. And I so appreciate and think that I'm better for listening to a different voice than maybe I may have in the past.
Thank you for that. Darsh.
Yeah, actually, what Bonnie said, I totally agree, is there's kind of a shift from who mentors you and who could be a mentor. And yes, there are people who are older than you, and there are people who are younger than you who could be your mentor. And again, they don't have to be in the same field. Like my mom, who I consider a big, like my initial mentor before I had others who were in the same profession. She was my mentor, and she was a great singer, I'll tell you. And when I sing, people look for fire exit. So they don't impose themselves or their qualities on you. They don't have to be from the same field, as Bonnie said. They hold a mirror to you. They show you what you are, who you are, and what you can do. They also, I think, provide to you a different perspective and a healthy criticism. I had people who are much younger than me. Sometimes I say, wow, what, like, I just learned something from them. And they are the essence of your growth. This is how I look at mentorship.
Thank you. And Christine.
Well, in the community where I live, and I also do a lot of my volunteer work, I'm very blessed because we have this unit where we do a lot of teaching of programs and services. And we do a lot of life skills for women and families, where we teach budgeting and cooking and stuff like employment skills. And the blessing that we get is a lot of the people that come in there are from so many different walks of life that we learn mentorship skills from them as much as they're learning from us. So it's like a dual mentorship. And I'm very blessed for that opportunity to kind of see into their world as much as we're giving back to them. So I like that balance that we get from working from different walks of life and from different age groups.
Mentorship has a lot of different faces and can look a lot of different ways. I think it's being open to those opportunities to learn from others, which I think all of you have spoken to in your responses. So if you going on that theme, and if you were thinking of the opportunities or experiences that have shaped your leadership, and how would you, in a sense, benefit the next generation? So in a sense, mentor the next generation of young women leaders. Christine, maybe I'll ask you to start.
I think I've definitely been blessed, especially this year alone, with the opportunities that I've been afforded. This year alone, I was given the opportunity to take part in a seat at the table, which was a program that was been offered through the mayor's office, as well in part with the city councilors. We were given the opportunity to be mentored by city councilors for learning politics, women in politics, learning at least from their standpoint, and being women, that how to run for office, you know, the ins and out of actually just being a woman, how you balance career, life, and, you know, home. And it's been a wonderful opportunity, as well as, you know, this year I became a first-time author. And that woman that mentored me, she was an entrepreneur herself, and she's came from nothing, and just learning all of those different experiences, as well as the opportunity for me to learn from being homeless, my real life experience. So taking all of those different experiences and different avenues that I've been through in my life has definitely shaped me into the individual that I've been. So those firsthand experiences gives me like a realness, I would say, to be able to talk to people, and has humbled me in the sense that I can relate to so many different people and so many different levels, that I'm blessed with different experiences to be able to handle different situations and different avenues, you know.
Thank
So
you. Yeah, Asana, would you like to?
Sure. So my mother always told me, never leave any opportunity that comes your way. And that's what I have done till now. So while I was doing my engineering back in India, I came across one of the Steve Jobs saying in the conference. He says that every morning he asks himself that if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And that really hit me hard because I never cared or enjoyed enough about the engineering. And I started digging in deeper into what I liked and where my life should head next. The same school year, I was appointed as a marketing head of a student association. And I really loved what I did. Making marketing strategies and using different marketing tools was all I was talking about. And after a lot of thought and consideration, I was sure I wanted to do my MBA in marketing in Canada itself. But this wasn't that easy for a person like me. I had zero fundings available. I had people saying a lot of things such as, "Oh, you need to have work experience for it. You have Fs. Nobody will take you. You don't have GMAT." And these were not said by any random people, but by those who were very, very close to me. And above all that, I was being abused by my very own boyfriend, with who I had been for 6 years. Um, I have even got threats like, if you fight with me again, I will put marijuana in your bag while you will be traveling to Canada. And he knew it's illegal in India and I won't be allowed to travel. And worst to worst, I'll get arrested. Despite these odds, I never gave up. Life will throw so many things at you, and sometimes you will find darkness all around you. But at that moment of time, you have to be your own light. Fortunately, I have such amazing parents who supported me throughout my journey to Canada. Um, and to all the amazing leaders who have joined us today, I would like to say one thing: do not let your fears stop you from reaching your goal. And I would like to repeat it again: do not let your fears stop you from reaching your goals. In past few years, I have realized that once your mind is made up, fear can no more control you. You just have to accept whatever is coming your way. So I don't have work experience, nor do I have GMAT. I'm being tortured every day in this relationship. I have no funds. So what am I gonna do about it? Sit and cry or find solutions? And you have to think about it.
Thank you. Bonnie.
I think, like a lot of women, I was born with self-limiting tendencies. I can, in a list, I can think of more things that I can't do than I can do. Like the frame of reference is always, yeah, I probably can't do that. So to overcome that in my life, I've thought of things or ways of building routines that take risks. And I've always tried to pick something that was really big every year to do in order to like convince myself that I can actually do things. You know, like I don't have to be limited by that. And the prime example of that was in 2016. I made the decision to walk the full end to end of the Bruce Trail. So that's 890 kilometers. Prior to that, I probably had never walked more than 5 kilometers at a time. Maybe I could count that on one hand, but just made it a challenge that I shared with other people. And I shared it in the context of, what are your self-limiting tendencies, and what do you need to do to break those self-limiting tendencies? And that kind of leadership is something that transcends every aspect of status in our society, right? Like it's about creating the ability for other people to achieve. And I think other people in the group have really perhaps said that better than I have. But it's really important that once you're in a position of leadership, that you're doing things that are aspiring other people to achieve that same level. It's not at all at the top sort of thing.
Thank you. And Darsh.
Yeah, it's they were so my mantra, as far as opportunities and experience go, my mantra is, there's a will, there's a way. And I grew up being a kid, and everyone else thought that I cannot. I somehow always believe, oh, I can. And things which almost seemed impossible, I somehow believe that I can. And that helped me achieve more and more. When I moved to Canada, it was a sudden decision I took. And when I moved to Canada, there was a big challenge at that point in time. And I had been a journalist, as I mentioned in the beginning, and I had reached editor level. From editor level to restart at the beginning, and in a new country where there are too many occasions, too many opportunities, it was a challenge. That now I do what? Go back to India, become somebody else, or do something that I have no idea about? And then I just sat back and thought, okay, so this is who I am. I do believe that I can, whatever I decide to. So what do I want to do if I don't want to continue with my media and journalism? And I thought real estate.
Darsh, I'm having a hard time hearing you now.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
So, no problem. So I decided, let me know if my audio is clear now.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, perfect. So when I got my real estate license, I had a little bit of a mind block, because I had been editor of newspapers and magazines. And here I was starting as a real estate agent. And I realized that sometimes people are not really very kind to you being a real estate agent. It was a difficult situation. And I stopped telling people I'm a real estate agent. And then my niece was visiting me, and she told me, "Aunt, you are like a secret agent. Nobody knows that you are a real estate agent." And I realized, yeah, that is correct. Why am I so shy? Why am I not telling people? I don't have family or friends. How am I going to even get business? I'm not advertising because, again, as Sana was saying, being new in the country, did not really have money to spend on advertising. So I started talking to people and telling them, yes. There was another challenge. Yes, I am new. I have not done any deal, so I have no experience. But somehow my thought that, yes, I can, help me. And I told people that, yes, I don't have the experience, but I can do as much with so much efficiency as anybody else can. And then I also told them that my broker of record has 40 years of experience, and he's there for me to help me. And he was there to help me. And then building on that, I just build my career. And when I hire new agents or I mentor new agents, I tell them this story that don't be shy that you don't have experience. Don't be shy that you don't have money to advertise. If I can do it, you can do it.
Thank you. It's interesting to hear the common themes that are coming up, that sense of having to have courage and stepping outside of your comfort zone, doing things that, don't maybe feel very natural, but you move forward because you have a goal in mind, you have, despite what you're thinking or feeling, you just keep moving.
Yes.
I think that it's interesting to hear how that's sort of a common theme amongst all of you. Thank you for sharing all of that. So I want to move on and ask you, in terms of, your leadership journey, how do you stay authentic and real and you've spoken a little bit to this, Adarsh, and let yourself be seen?
Mhm. So what I'll say, everyone has seen that popular picture of a cat looking in the mirror and seeing a lion. I'm not that. If I were to be a cat, I would definitely not be that cat. When I look in the mirror, I see myself. I don't see a lion, but I see an awesome cat who can do a lot of things which a lion cannot do. So this is what I would say, that be yourself and be your best. Um, you don't have to be somebody else. You just believe in yourself, and then you don't have to compete with somebody else. Just compete with yourself and keep raising the bar, and this is how you grow, and this is how you become what you want to become. I hope I answered what I was asked to.
I think you did. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bonnie, would you like to go next?
Yeah, authentic is so important in organizational success. If you don't have leaders that are able to relate at a very personal level today, you'll never be able to be successful in organizations. And from a personal perspective, again, prepping for this, I kind of had some laughs about, my life and history, but I would say, in the beginning, I was definitely part of the blue suit, shoulder pad kind of approach to how you would work, right? Like a very serious, didn't interact with people, didn't fool around, got the job done, that sort of thing. But you miss out on so much when you don't bring everything that you love or everything that you enjoy as part of what you do. And I watched the people who I wanted to emulate. I saw how authentic they were and said, yeah, that's where I want to be. And I'd say I enjoy my work so much more. I enjoy my work relationships so much more because people get what they get with me, they get what they get. And, like that comes with someone who likes to do crafts and likes to hike and, is a dog mom and does all those other things out there. And I try to bring all those things into the work situation too, and just enjoy finding out what else everybody else's passions are. But that's part of being authentic.
Thank you. Christina.
I agree with the ladies who spoke before me on the panel. I mean, I genuinely draw on all my life experiences. I've been through so many ups and downs, like I literally had to write a book about it. I've been through everything from cancer to homelessness to, mental health problems. I suffer from anxiety and depression, and I've been through it all. That I could sit on a park bench in my 30 years right now and have a conversation with just about anybody and get along with anybody. And I think that's the key to it all. I mean, I post Facebook pictures of myself with my hair messy and my kids running all around the place, and I'm ready to pull my hair out. And I think that's what needs to be out there sometimes. The makeup and the glam is good, but you need to be your authentic self so people can see the real you and get to know you and know that this is your true soul and this is who I really am, so that they can relate to you. I live next door and I'm your neighbor, and then they know that this is who I am, and then they can relate to that and understand you. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't change any of it because it's brought me to where I am today and sitting on this panel with all of you, and I can still say I'm blessed.
Thank you. And Sana, how?
I mean, listening to all these leaders, I really feel proud to be even the part of this discussion panel. Everybody gave they actually inspired me. So one more thing I would like to add in this is that while being who you are, you need to also accept your flaws. and wear it as a crown. I mean, this is who you are, and this will make you more stronger, confident, and make you realize that even with your flaws, you are as powerful as you were. Um, so just imagine like your life is perfect, you got everything you wanted in life. Will that challenge you to try something new and land up in some place which is unexpected? I believe that won't be possible. And there is nothing to be ashamed about what happened in your life. So today I'm really proud and never ashamed that I have been a fighter throughout the relationship and throughout the trauma. I'm proud that I took therapy to recover from the trauma and transform myself into this being. And I'm proud that I never listened to what others thought about my goals and made my dream into reality. And I'm also always proud of who I am, who I was, and who I've become. And I want everyone in the summit to remember that sky is the limit and you can be anything you want to be. Do not hide your flaws. Show it out to the world. If you want to be seen, first accept yourself the way you are.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think, so I think the final question that we have, and then I'm thinking we may have some time for questions from the folks who are listening today to ask some questions as well. So finally, one of the goals of the Leadership Summit is to help inspire the next generation of female leaders to start their leadership journey. How can your leadership journey inspire this next generation of upcoming leaders? Adarsh, do you want to start?
Sure. I would say if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, I did not really have too much going for me, but still I made it this far. And that's the reason why I'm saying that if I can do it, you can do it. And all you have to do is to believe in yourself. As Hannah was saying, that even if people are saying otherwise, if you believe in yourself, you can achieve what you want to. You don't have to be somebody, be authentic, what we were talking about earlier. Believe in yourself and just be your best, keep improving. And if you mess up, you mess up, big deal. It doesn't really matter. If you make a mistake, try to fix it and move on with life. If you need help, reach out, because that is something which sometimes we shy away from, is from asking for help. Do not shy away. If you need help, reach out. If people help you, great. If one does not help you, somebody else will. So do not get discouraged. Do not shy away from seeking help, whatever help it may be, whether it's like something what Sana was referring to, mental health, or it could be anything else. If you want a career guidance, if you need somebody else, and just keep at it. If you set your mind, and this is what I have been told so many times, so I know that probably it is true, is that if I set my mind to something, I achieve that. And this is what I would say. Try doing it. And as I shared my mantra, there's a will, there's a way. Set your mind to something, dream big, and then believe in yourself that you can do it. All you need to do after that is to find ways. And once you have decided that, yes, this is what I have to achieve, um, you can achieve that. And this is the thing, that you have to believe in yourself. If you do, you will find your ways, and there will be people to help you with.
Does someone want to add to Sana? Yes.
I really like what Adarsh really mentioned. I would like to add something to that itself. There won't in life. Sometimes it will be like you are not strong all the time. Sometimes you will fall down, and this has happened when I came to Canada itself. It was not like, oh, I made a bold move, I am fine and everything. I used to cry in university washrooms all the time, and I have seen a professor come to me and she asked me, are you okay, Sana? I was like, yeah. I was crying, she could see that, and she's like, see, this is the therapy university offers, I think you should go. And I really went there. First, I thought like therapy is for mental people. It doesn't really work for everybody. But I really went over there and I felt that I had so much support. I always forgot this thing that you have so many people around you, your parents, your friends, therapies, your professor, someone or the other is out there to help you out in this situation. And if still you don't find it, trust me, you can contact me anytime for that. I am there for you guys. You can contact me all the time. And right now where I am, I was not like that back a year. I mean, back a year, if you would have told me that I would be a research assistant, a communications marketing manager, a writer, and an MBA student, I would laugh at you. I would be like, this is not my life. Because I have always seen myself crying in the corner, getting pushed by people, getting C's in my first semester, having no loan money. So right now itself, for my final semester in MBA, I had zero loan money available. My loan which I took was all empty. I had nothing left with me. But still, you have to find answers. You're not able to find answers. Find those other people who can. Just lift yourself up. And I would say, for becoming that true leader for yourself, a personal leader, you have to practice through that pain, practice to be bold, and practice to be strong, practice to keep your head high even in the most embarrassing or worst situations in your life. That's how I have been throughout this time.
Thank you. Christina.
I completely agree. I've completely been where you've been, so I'm so proud of you, and I thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. I think we need to change the narrative on how we lead as well, especially if the pandemic has taught us anything. I think it's taught us that leadership is not a me thing. I think that leadership should be about supporting us as a collective. Our thoughts and our feelings lead to how we change, how we think about change. And if we want to be the change that we need to be, we need to see that we need to change how we're doing things. And we also need to change the dialogue within ourselves. We need to be more positive with ourselves and more kind to ourselves, especially with mental health out there. We need to think more kind and think about believing in ourselves and supporting one another. We need to think, why not us? Why can't we do the things that everybody else is doing? So we need to come with a more winning attitude. And with that, we can do more positive things like volunteering and seeing if we want to do the things that could lead us to doing these opportunities that are out there. We can create the opportunity if it doesn't exist, that's already out there. And if it does already exist, we can support whoever's already doing these ideas. So that would be crazy to not, get involved. And if it's going to be happening, why don't we go with the whole hashtag wake up and win and rise together, because we're better together.
Thank you. And Bonnie.
I think the three of them have said such amazing things. It's just awesome. The parting thought, since I'm the last one, is my parting thought is just the advice is to be intentional about what you do. And whether that be volunteering, and I'm a real strong believer that so much of your life and others are better when you do volunteering. But that it's important to make those decisions, to be in your community, to be involved, to build those relationships. And all of that will benefit you on your leadership journey for sure.
Thank you. We've got a question from the audience. The question is, do you think your leadership is a result of experiences, or do you feel like you were born a leader? Does somebody want to?
Not born a leader.
Yes, I totally agree with Bonnie.
Not born a leader.
Leaders are not born. Leaders are made. And leaders, I would say, there are so many experiences, opportunities, people who shape you to become a leader. They're not born.
And sometimes it's out of necessity. Sometimes you see something that could be changed and you see something that could be done better. Absolutely. And you just step up to the plate and say, you know what, I want to make a change.
Yeah, exactly. Be the change you want to see.
Anybody else have any additional comments?
I mean, that's what I wanted to say, but everybody said the same thing. Yeah, nobody is born a leader. Absolutely. I guess we all four, you could see that everybody here has experienced and got where they are. It's not just you're sitting on the table, oh, this is the leader in life.
So I want to thank you all for, some wonderful insights. I think that you have, it's been interesting for me to listen and hear similarities, even though your journeys have been very different. But there are still similarities in terms of the qualities that you felt that you needed to have to be able to move forward in your lives. That stick-to-itiveness, that feeling of I can do this despite how afraid I am. The importance of family or supports, friends, or reaching out to even professional supports, that all of these things have been important parts of your journeys. I really want to thank each of you for taking the time out of, I'm sure, busy schedules to spend some time here today, to share your journeys, to be able to talk about your stories. I would encourage those who are listening and watching to go back into to look at the bios of each of these wonderful women, to tell a little bit more about what they are, who they are, and what they've done in their lives. This has been just a remarkable time. I have so enjoyed myself and spending time and getting to know all of you a little bit. And I want to encourage you to continue this tremendous journeys that you're all on in your lives, and being strong women in the community and standing strong for others to see, mentoring others and encouraging others. So thank you so much for your time and your openness. It's been a wonderful time together.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for having us all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. And thank you, everyone. It was a learning experience, inspirational and great. And as I think we all would agree that we are still learning. The journey is still on. And if anyone, where we are, we all would like to mentor. We love doing that. I can speak for myself for sure, but hearing from Christina, Senna, and Bonnie, I think it's true about all over here in this panel. So this is what I would like to say. I'm taking this liberty on behalf of everyone. Reach out to us. If we can help, do that. Reach out to us. We would love to do that.
And there's opportunities in the chat rooms to reach out and give extra comments. And so thank you all again for being a part of this year's Leadership Summit. And I think you've all been an amazing example of what it is to rise together. Thank you.
Let's rise together.
Yes.